Guys, sorry if this is taking a few minutes. It's computer, new Facebook. It's kind of giving us all kinds of fits, and I'm sitting at a weird angle, and I'm sitting at a short table. So, those of you who have already gotten your kits, great. Mind you, this is messy, okay? And you can do whatever you want. So those of you who have your kits, you have your canvas. Make sure your plastic's off. You got it. Your paints, which these are the ones I'm going to pull from. And then you're going to want a cup. It doesn't matter what kind. You can use a plastic cup, red Solo cup, styrofoam cup, doesn't matter. It just makes it a little bit easier to work with. I'm actually going to do two because I'm going to show you how to use a strainer. If you've got one, you can, again, when you're doing paint pouring, you can do whatever. Now, I have sent the silicone gel with everybody. Everybody's got it. Do not pour this into your paints because it won't dry with your paints. This is almost like a sealant that'll go over the top of your painting if you want it to be glossy. That is all that is for. You do not add it to your paints because it will not dry. Your paint will take 24 hours to completely dry. So that's, I want you all to keep that in mind. If you're doing your paint pouring, make sure that you've got something underneath it, obviously, because paint's going to end up everywhere. And then I have like an extra box because when you finish your paint pouring, you're going to have it over the sides or over the edges. And if you just lay it on the paper, it's going to stick to the paper after as it dries, and obviously you don't want that. So if you've just got an old Tupperware container laying around somewhere and you want to use that, that'll be great. So now, most of you don't have one of these. This is my little fun little toy. This is my little heat gun. But if you want to use heat, just use your hair dryer. I don't own a hair dryer, but I do own a heat gun. Okay, so make sure that you've got your area prepped, you've got paper down, you've got something down because this makes a mess. And I forgot gloves, but I'll tell you what I'm taking off. I'm taking the jewelry off. Last time I did this without gloves on, I had this almost up to my elbows. All right, so take a cup, whatever cup you want to use. Now, I sent you all like 4 colors, so that's all I'm going to work with is the 4 colors, okay? If anybody's got on here, has questions or anything as we're going through this, just shoot it on the edge and I'll take a look at it. So I'm going to use 4 different colors, and I'm not going to do the strainer technique first. I'm going to show you one that I did the other day, and it really, one of the coworkers said it looks like the Great Barrier Reef. I personally am in love with this one. So I'm going to use, let's see. That's not going to work. I've given away so much color with you guys. So I'm going to use rose pink. I'm going to use purple grape. I'm going to add, I love to just add colors. Let's do a navy blue. And I'm going to add a titanium white to mine. All right. So what you'll do is put as much as you want out of your little containers into a cup. All right. So you've got them in the containers. So now I'm only squirting in 4, which is what all of you should have gotten, about 4 squirts in each one of yours. Let it drip out as much as you want. You don't have to do this right along with me, but I'm going to show you. So I'm going to, now, see all the white like this? The second bunch, you want to move it. You don't want to do it dead center. So you do it off to the side a little bit. See how that looks a little bit different? You do not mix these up, guys. Once it's in here, you don't stir this. You don't do anything. You just put your paints in. So see how this is kind of looking this way? Do not mix these up. You're just pouring them in. All right. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So I've got all my colors in here, right? Now here's my canvas. Now, this is the easiest one to do. And it actually, I like the way this turns out. Be ready to make a mess, okay? All I do is I pour down the center and see how your colors come out. And then I pour off to the side. You can do this however you want to do this. However you want your colors to come out. Now these are mine, if you can see all this with the camera. All right, let's see if I can get a shot for you. You can see how mine's poured out. Right? Now, you've still got a little extra in there that, you know, if it comes out, it comes out. If it doesn't, that's fine too. So it's already kind of got its own design in here, right? All I'm going to do is this. All I'm going to do is move it. And as I move this around, you begin to create something. You don't know what? Now see me, I love this kind of stuff. But as you move it around, you constantly keep this moving. You can put it down, you can move it around. Of course, I've got a ton of paint already on the, I'm afraid to put my painting down because it's all dripping off. But you can move it around, all right? Trying not to get it on my computer. And you can develop whatever you want. And obviously, guys, underneath, it's coming through. Now, I've got little things going on in mine, okay? I've got it all over me, and I'm probably going to get all over my computer. If you can see this, this is what I've done so far. Now, if you have a hairdryer, a sponge, my favorite, a heat gun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, I'm going to seal it a little bit because the heat helps it to dry a little bit. And then you can blow on it. And if you blow on it, you can add more designs to it. And that's all there is to paint pouring, guys. If you don't want to use if you don't want to use a hairdryer, because using the hairdryer and the heat gun just kind of helps it dry a little bit faster. I like using the heat gun. I am still turning mine because I'm sitting there thinking, there may be something else that I'm missing in this. So I'm trying to move it around a little bit more. And that's the thing. You just keep doing what you want to do with it. If you feel like you got too much paint on one end, turn it upside down and let it run. And it'll come back through. And what's so really neat after this is you can take this and use this as a base. Right now it looks pretty thick, but believe it or not, when this dries, it is so level with the canvas, you don't even realize that you've done any painting whatsoever with this. Any painting, and I mean, there is paint literally everywhere. I'm kind of liking the way this one turned out. So I'm going to hit this with the heat gun a little bit, and then I will do a second one for you all. The second one, I will be using a strainer. Okay, and in the strainer, it's going to change the look of the way everything comes out, because you see how this came out, very blot, you know, just big gulps of paint. If you can see, I'm trying not to get it on my computer. If you can see this, I'm hoping you guys can see this. But I'm going to use my heat gun to kind of try and seal it a little bit so it doesn't take so long. Do not use the gel. Do not use the gel. I cannot say that enough. Do not use that with your paint. Do not mix it in with your paint. That is to put over the top of it once it is dry, a very thin layer, very, very thin layer, so that it will seal it up and make it nice and pretty, because it just does that. Now I have set my painting of my Tupperware like so, just so that it doesn't stick to the paper. Now I'm going to do a second one. This one I'm going to use this absolutely cool strainer. I'm going to take a lot of this extra paint off. If you have not gotten a kit, it's okay. If you decide that you want one, it's perfectly fine. I do have some paints, and I do have more canvases left. So that way, I mean, it's the colors are getting a little bit less, but if you decide that you, hey, I want to do that after all, shoot me an email, message me on here if you want, if there's something you want to do. Now, I love making a mess, because that just means you're creating. When you make that mess, you're just having fun doing what you're doing. And that's all this comes down to, having fun doing what you're doing. So the second one we're going to use, I'm going to use a strainer. I'm going to put this down so you don't have to see my face. And we're going to put it right in about the middle. Actually, I'm going to put it up there a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing I did the last time, except for I'm going to pick different colors this time. I'm going to use some fall colors. So I'm going to use some mid-yellow. Again, pour in what you want. Don't pour in what you want. It doesn't matter. Cyan green. Don't know. Very pretty green. I'm going to use that. Use that pretty green. And I'm layering it kind of the same way I did before. Throw some orange in here. And of course, we got to throw in some brilliant reds. Now, it's kind of the same deal, except for this time, you pour it in the strainer. And you just work around with your colors, and they'll start to come out. And I hope that you guys can see this. I'm going to have to try a better way of doing this. I'm getting little lines coming out of the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. And what that's doing is just giving lines. And then I can turn it and lift it. And I still have colors, so I can go down, turn and lift. Go down, turn and lift. So now I've kind of mixed up my colors a little bit. And I tell you not to do that. But when you're doing something like this, it's kind of fun. And now I'm just going to turn it and have it stretch out. Same deal. You did with the last one. Do with this one. You can blow on it. You can move it. You can use your hair dryer on it. Whatever. Now, see, to me, I see a really odd looking jellyfish going on here. But you see how these lines came out by using the strainer? I think it's really cool because it came out, it almost looks like veins. And I think I'm going to hold this sideways for a little bit and let this just go down and drip off the sides. And then I'm going to turn it just a little bit more. And all it does when you turn these guys, it just changes it. You do what you want to do. You don't have to do what I'm doing. You may say, okay, Mrs. R, I don't like the way you did yours. Okay. You don't like the way I did mine? Do your own. That's why it makes this so much fun, because everybody sees what they want to see. They see something different. They want to do something different. Now, you cannot use regular acrylics. There is a pouring medium that is added to all the paints that I sent to you. I did purchase all that stuff online, so you're more than welcome to look it up. And it's just an acrylic pouring paint, and that's all I used. Now, see, I think that's pretty cool to me. I kind of like that. I hope you guys like it. I'm going to hit mine with that heat gun again, just to help seal it up a little bit and stop it from running. So if you have a hair dryer or anything, you can use that. You can blow on it. You can use a straw. You can use whatever you would like in order to move the paints however you want to move them. I like just moving it around in circles, just because I'm like, I don't like that. I'm going to lean it the different way, or I'm going to make it go a different direction. But I enjoy it because I like the abstract. Never was a person for landscapes or things of that nature. I really, 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 really enjoy odd things. I don't know if anybody's ever seen a Jackson Pollock painting, but this is what this kind of reminds me of a little bit. Absolutely love his stuff. It's just so abstract. I like Georgia O'Keeffe too, but she does do some, Georgia O'Keeffe does some still lifes, but they're done a different way that I really enjoy. So on that note, there is the second one I did. And here is the first one I did, guys. If you've got any questions whatsoever, if you like this and you didn't get to get a kit, just email me. Let me know. Oh, that color on the side of that one. Email me, and I will do my best to get you some colors that you may like. And canvas is it's a blast. I love getting messy, and these are my favorite type of crafts that we can do, because anybody can do anything that I show. I'm hoping to do some more upcycling coming into this fall. I've been like kind of crazy busy, so I do apologize to everybody that things have kind of fallen flat with some of my painting. It's been a rough couple of months, as everybody is aware, and just trying to situate all of our lives. And of course, Harry Potter always takes over my life in July. So if you enjoyed this, I do have plenty of extra paints. I will do my best to maybe get you what you would like to try. There are several, and I have tons and tons of canvases. So on that note, I'm going to try and clean up my mess. And thank you for joining us for another edition of the Chronicles of Mrs. R. I hope you all enjoyed the paint pouring. And again, if you are interested and if you would like to do it, just shoot me an email. On that note, everybody, have a great evening. Bye.